So I guess that today it has been a long day. You have seen a lot of products, a lot of services, all of these innovations, and now we're going to talk about consulting. I could talk about how we do the consulting, but at the end, consulting is consulting, right? So I just would like to address with you a little bit why we do consulting, because this is one of the main questions that at the end drill down when we talk to our customers. Why? And honestly, it's a great question, and it's a fair question. Why me as a customer or you as a customer should do consulting? Why? And then here, let me talk about myth that we have been discussing with our customers when we talk to them. I mean, one of the first myths is digitalization consulting, digital transformation. I can do it by myself. Why should I need you? Answer is, it's partly true. Yes, you can, as one said. If you check a few boxes, and then let me illustrate a little bit that. Imagine you have a house to renovate. Then, indeed, you can do the renovation by yourself. Then it just said that you need to masterize a lot of different disciplines, piping, plumbing, cement, foundations, and so on. If you don't masterize that, then you can end up into a tricky, costly situation where either the door is not at the right position, the stairs are not at the right position, and so on and so forth. Then there is another myth as well that we meet a lot when we are talking to our customers is like, you know what, digitalization, I will do pilots. And then once I've done all these pilots, I'm going to pick the best one, and that will be my blueprint. Well, this is partly true. I mean, don't forget that a pilot has a value by itself, but most of the value when we talk about digitalization is the connection between those pilots. So when you want to do your pilots by yourself, this is great. But then we also need to take into account how are we going to connect all those pilots. And then if you overlook some of the connections, or if you overlook how those pilots are going to serve your ultimate goal, then at the end of all these pilots, you're going to end up into, again, tricky, costly situation. One of the other myths we have when we talk with our customers is, yeah, I mean, digitalization, it's AI and big data. I know this is what I need to do. Fine. Again, here, it's partly true. The AI and the big data is just the tip of the iceberg. It means that if all the structures of your organization, of your IT system, of your OT systems are not structured to serve this data analytics or this big data, then you won't end up in a very nice situation. And one of the examples provided by our colleagues is that this pharmaceutical company, indeed, pharmaceutical company invested $150 million in recruiting data analysts, natural language processing, and all the infrastructures around. They did a lot of things, and at the end of the day, 2 years after, they just realized that actually it was not serving their purpose. And then the management concluded that actually the ROI was not here. So these are the main 3 myths that we are meeting when we are talking with our customers. And then here, this is why we actually developed a certain approach, a structured approach to ensure that we bust this myth and then we address the correct project that you need to have. Of course, we're going to talk about technology. Of course, we're going to talk about AI and big data and so on. But we also will talk about all these layers that you see before reaching this. In other terms, how mature is your organization? And it's not enough. We're also trying to understand why do you want to apply digitalization? For which processes in the production, on your business? What is serving your digitalization strategy? And again, here it's not enough. We are talking about process industries. So we are talking about a complete life cycle of a plant. So digitalization needs also to serve this life cycle plant management. And last but not least, of course, when we run this digitalization consulting approach, we also map all your systems, IT systems, OT systems, how they are connected together, where are the gaps, where are the manual entering inputs, and so on and so forth. And again, here it's not enough, because it's not one size fits all. Every customer, as I was saying with Christine, has a different landscape. Every customer has a different maturity. That's why when we do our consulting, we sort of propose a menu where we decide with you, based on our experience, based on the capabilities you have in-house, what are the modules that we're going to connect together to deliver this consulting for digitalization. Then obviously, there are typical paths. One of them is this one, so we start by a strategic workshop trying to understand why. Why do you want to do digitalization? Is it to reduce time to market? Is it to reduce the waste? Is it to improve the quality of your product? Is it to increase the transparency of your production? What we call business drivers. Then we try to assess where you are. Where are you standing today in terms of maturity? What kind of systems are you using? What systems are serving which part of your process? And then, and only after that, we start prioritizing the project. At the end, we propose you a roadmap where we have identified with you the project that you need to invest in, the timeline, the return on investment, and the cost that you should expect for each of the projects. That's the traditional path. We have some customers that are more focusing on data analytics. So here again, we have another path of consulting where we are more focusing on, let's make something tangible, let's create a minimal viable product, where here we can show you what kind of benefit you can get with data analytics. But only based on the data you have today, so that we are sure that you end up at the last step of the consulting with something tangible and something that really proves the value of what you can do with the data analytics. So as I said, all in all, what are we doing? Digitalization consulting is just a way to turn the vision you have about where you want to be in your digital journey into concrete investment plan. Because at the end, the only thing that matters is what will be the benefits, the tangible benefits that you're going to get out of this digital transformation journey. And then here as a summary, we're having a top-down approach. It means that we are not starting to talk about technologies or product and so on. You got the top-down approach where we start talking about why. What are your business drivers? And then how can we serve these business drivers with those new technologies? And it happens sometimes that actually big data or data analytics was not the priority, because the business drivers of this customer was more transparency of the production, nothing related to data analytics in a certain extent. The second thing to remember for this digitalization consulting is we always propose you a roadmap based on where you are. As I said, it's not one size fits all. We are not bringing you a box here saying, hey, this is digital transformation, just do it. No. Every customer has his own requirement, regulation, a process, all the systems that are in place, and we are not asking you to change everything for starting again. No. Number 3, as I said before, we come with concrete projects. So here, you're going to end up with a roadmap with 5 projects over the next 3 years, with a timeline, with a budget, and with a return on investment. And on the same line, number 4, we are doing this vendor neutral. So we are not providing you a catalogs of solutions that are existing already. We are really providing you specifications so that you are ready now to go on the RFQ process. Our intention is to bring you as close as possible to the RFQ and having a visibility of what would be the roadmap over the next 3 to 5 years.
Siemens, ingenuity for life.